see where Canna's going to go or whether T1 have something strange planned for us.
The DRX comp doesn't have traditional frontline, it just has a Gnar, but the combo, the wombo combo of a Gnar, Seraphine, and Rakan is disgusting. That's not okay, Atlas. That is not fun to play against. And
this is rough, actually.
Yeah.
I was actually going to praise DRX for locking in the Gnar because Seraphine Scion is free win territory, right?
Come on, Atlas. That is not.
Yeah, it's definitely tough. And yes, they will get outranged. I think the poke advantage is once again like on the red side of the rift, right? However, there is dive options. They have the quickness. They have all of the defense available for Azire as well.
Early angle from Cuz here.
Yeah, looking to try and go aggressive. Is going to wrap all the way around. You can see Bao and Becca not getting wind of this just yet as the crashdown comes through. Carrier with a really nice stun spear. Not going to connect, but Bao still taking a lot of damage. The empowered pounce and the ignite going to come in, but the answering kill is there for Bao.
Making it so much harder to actually execute well on the play. Sokai's ultimate.
Yeah. Does actually find it here onto Faker. The beat drop's going to connect as well, and Faker, you can't Kingslayer enough out of that one. The watch out Eve is not going to be watched out of, and Pyoshik will be able to grab that one. Second kill for DRX. And look, Teddy has a lead because he stayed alive, right? Bao didn't get so lucky as Carrier going to find the Attract Repel stump. There's the flash on in from Pyoshik. It's a very sleepy Rel, and they're looking to try and take her down. No flash available. Becca secures it. Fine on DRX's side. And Cuz looking for this early Herald. Gonna have to pounce out of the pit though, as Pyoshik says, thanks very much for the leash. As Solka's gonna move on over as well. Sidesteps very nicely. The spear.
Faker didn't level his ult.
Oh.
I was wondering why he didn't go for... I thought he was holding it, because he went for the trade aggressively on Solka, and Solka was low. And I thought that he was...
Now he has ult.
Well, yeah.
I mean, yes, now he has ult.
That's
possible. As here on the top side, bit of a battle as Canna. Not going to get pushed into turret range, but does have to flash the bowling ball. Cuz in the area. DRX immediately know that by the movement.
Well, because they provide you with a lot of threat. Faker.
Yeah, Becker is actually rotating in. The Encore just going to 100% miss. As Cuz looking for it one more time. Very dead is the Gnar, as Faker's just going to teleport out. Says goodbye to everyone. And now he's backing on the top side of the...
From Rakan, the synergy that those two have. Guardian is still up. This is not an easy dive for T1. Featherstorm clans all available.
Well, there's a Chains of Corruption as the crashdown says goodbye to the Rakan. You said it's...
What?
Did that look difficult? It just didn't look that difficult to me, I'm not going to lie. As now Faker finds a Featherstorm. He'll be able to answer Bao, but not before he kills him. Throws that one out. The feathers go a little bit further away, but he can't recall them anyway, so he doesn't even mind, as that's a big old Gnar into the wall. But you can see this. He does manage to grab the kill onto Canna, but now that's a very angry zombie that's looking for him, and Faker will pick this one up. I don't know how they do it, Chronicler, but T1, they found this mid-game skirmish.
Especially a pick like the Silas that benefits from finding the all-ins, finding the messy, extended fights, not a straight-up 5v5, but more fight one person, fight two more people, get an ultimate, and keep that going for as long as you can.
Oh, Becca pops! What the heck was that? Oh no, but the Encore is going to connect onto Teddy. He's going to be taken down. Solka answers very nicely, and now Kingen into position. Bowling ball blocked by a minion, which is a little bit unfortunate there for Pyoshik, but good answer. Oh my goodness. Damn, extraordinary amount of vision control here that Cuz has been able to put down. As Shirley just going to disco for a little bit. That was really cool. Are they going to be able to take it down? They do, denying the charge. And that means that that outer turret is going to remain standing. Actually very important here for T1.
Be the case.
Prove me wrong. As the Baron, once again, going to be taking some damage here. He's taken a lot of abuse, to be perfectly honest, this series. As the train's going to come on forward. The engage from Becca comes out first now, as Canna is actually going to be able to disengage very effectively, but Carrier gets denied his all-in. That's a huge Encore as Becca going to go down first, but Kingen says, Canna, you can do it. I can do it too. Canna gets into the back line, not quite able to get the work done. Double kill for Pyoshik now, as this is the DRX team fighting comp. Faker now looking for his ability to get in. Does manage to land it. Kingslayer goes down as well, but he's extraordinarily low and will be taken out by Kingen. Cuz and Canna now trying to do what they can. It's closer than it could have been, but Canna should be taken out. The damage threats are now gone for T1. and Solka is just a disgusting heal battery, able to keep everyone alive.
Moments at the end, very well, as Kingin goes in and stays alive no matter what. Carrier.
Yeah, still looking for more as the Encore is going to come down just onto Carrier. He has a stopwatch. We'll see whether he can keep himself alive. Doesn't, of course, have his flash available, and the Rel is just going to fall down. The train comes through again as Kana tries to split up this fight, but now Cuz is in trouble. Pioshik just toying with him in his jungle, and now DRX with 5 members look to move towards the Baron, and jungle is almost dead, right? Cuz cannot actually get back here unless he can primally surge about 100 times.
Yeah, needs to try and heal up. Fortunately, there is the threat of a Mega Gnar. There is still a front line, but can Cuz get to the Baron here?
Well, it's not quite 100, so I think I may have exaggerated there. As you can see, the Baron going down to about 2.5. We could just be flipping it here as DRX still on it. And that is going to be secured by Pioshik. T1 now moving out of the area. Carrier, he's respawned, but there's no way he's getting to any sort of fight. Intelligent for T1 to actually just disengage. Has a few heals available as well.
Oh, Faker.
Now, Faker could look for a potential flank here. He's clearing out all of the vision, but no way T1 are fighting for this one. But sometimes you just have to change how you think about the game. And T1 recently have certainly been trying to force that. Bowling ball connects onto Kana. Now T1 looking for that wraparound. DRX not going to give them their engage opportunity. And the slower DRX play this, the smarter they are, as Bao is going to be tagged by that Q. Spear just pops in! What the hell was that? What? Okay, I guess that, I mean, maybe that's how you win. That's the counter siege. Do you know what you do? You one-shot people with your spears. Like some fluke. It just keeps working, but you know eventually it ain't going to. I just don't know when it's not going to if Cuz does stuff like this. Oh my goodness.
Look at that elbow.
They've started the Baron already. I mean, it's not the fastest of Barons necessarily. As Teddy does finally get on over. But yeah, like, how do you even get here?
But it might trade for soul.
Well, let's see whether Kana can actually stop them from getting on in. This Baron is just dead. And now they have to try and get out of the area. The sleep comes through. There's the grand entrance as Kana tries to help him. Another spear going to find a victim as the Scion's taken down. Faker also dies very early, and now Teddy is by himself. He'll be taken out. And now T1 need to try and save the Barons. This is going to be Cloud Soul. Now Kingin looking for a little bit, but that tower already falls, and Solka is getting chunked down. Faker, Kingslayering on top of Kingin here as the quickness is stolen away. He gets gnarred into the wall. Faker can still go golden, but he just doesn't. Oh no. Caught in the side lane. Does manage to get the turret, but now T1 lose all of their pressure. And DRX looking to try and close this one in as I believe another spear just landed there as Kingin Strybreakering his way through. The train is going to get Kana out of this one as Cuz great sidestep on the bowling ball. Anyone just trying to disengage as best they can. Thankfully, Chem tank does exist. And Kana will be able to get out with that one. T1 actually kiting back quite nicely here with all their spears and arrows. Yeah. When these piercing arrows hit, man, like this is where it's dangerous. And Kingin says no, Teddy! Immediately, QSS flash to get himself out. The Encore is good, but Kana is tanking everything. Still, it is going to most likely be the end of his life. No, he gets himself the shield and just takes the train to safety. Turret not going to be so lucky, though, as the second inhibitor turret falls. And when it comes to just ridiculous late-game drafts, I don't know.
Monstrosity in the form of Seraphine on the other end that is just a full-on raid boss. There are a lot of Rabadons being finished now here, though, and T1, they're not giving up. There's no inhibitors down. They can contest this Baron.
Yeah, Cuz does insane damage. It's okay. That is the cleanse having to be used, or the QSS, sorry. Onto Teddy as Kingin only finds one with the ultimate, and now you've got Kana finding that backline. Teddy pretty much zoned away from this one, though. It's Bao just fighting this one front to back, and Kingin is deciding on his way of taking this victory. Solka gonna have to walk on back as Teddy finds a few autos, a few piercing arrows. But as you can see, DRX take control of the area. They take their pick, and they're looking for it. Kana can turn into a train and try and get himself here, but then he won't have that ultimate for the ensuing fight. T1 need to desperately find some way of buying time. Kingin looking to deny. The Chains of Corruption do connect, and now the train is drifting forward, but misses, actually crashes a little bit too early there. But T1 do have control of this area. Can they steal away The Elder Drake, it just goes down to Bow. Picks up the double. Faker's already dead. Becca steals the last one. DRX will win game 2. And I thought this was a pretty comfy way to get a 3-0 for T1. But DRX have done it. They found the draft. They found the final team fight. And despite it not necessarily looking convincing, in the end it will be DRX tying up the series.
And in game number 1 you get away with it, Atlas. In game number 2 you get appropriately punished.
Absolutely.
Seraphine makes it through the draft. And DRX show why this team is in the playoffs in the first place. Yes, we did not see this DRX for the second round. Sure.
Seraphine is ridiculous, and late game, of course, the Xayah just does a fair bit of work, but look at that Gnar damage. Damn, that's pretty ridiculous. 29k as well for Pyoshik, who I think also had a pretty amazing time on the Rift this time around as well. He was 5-0-11 by the end of that one. The Lilia was finding these incredible bowling balls to start off, set the scene for some of these fights. And I agree with you, I think that Kingin was fantastic, but I think huge hats off to Pyoshik as well, who is standing up to the pressure and succeeding.
Number 2 victory up against T1. So what's your take on the draft, guys? I think they started off with a huge lead up against T1. T1 this time around, they were not able to find the main theme of their comp. Rather, they just tried to counterpick the blind picks coming out from DRX. In game number 1, DRX played Pocomp, and game number 2, DRX went around Seraphine. They wanted to play a teamfight comp. They had a very strong teamfight ability. So DRX always had a set theme for their comp in both games, whereas T1, they were not able to find their own concept for this game, and I think Xayah and Rakan was the centerpiece for their comp in game number 2 for DRX. Varus is really strong in lane, and he has a massive poke damage. And Sylas was a really smart pick in order to counter both Seraphine and Gnar. However, looking at the first rotation of T1's pick, they do not have a strong initiation, so they were forced to take some of the teamfight opening champions for the second rotation for their pick and ban. So DRX played the teamfight better, but at the same time, DRX had the better comp and better draft strategy. In addition to that, Poke Varus is really good when you can always have lane priority without calling the help of your own jungler. But today, T1, even though Varus was able to have a very strong lane, well, the top side of the map was losing quite a lot. So T1, if they were having their best performance today, well, there were some mistakes where they were not able to go flawless. And this time around, we had a lot of back and forth fights and games today. And every time we were able to see DRX coming out with an edge with their draft, and then this time around, they even took the game number 2 with their teamfight strength. Now let's take a look at this first highlight where TRX, their bottom duo, was able to put up a really nice fight. So Rakan sneaks in for a flank angle, and then he gets spotted by Varus. So instead of just backing, he doesn't hesitate and he instantly goes in, and then Rel goes in for a re-engage, but she actually fails the crash down combo, which means T1 had no more initiation tool. Together with Rel and Sylas, I think they were looking for that Rel and stolen encore combo, but because of that mistake, Faker also lost his agencies to go in and open fight. However, still there was a chains of corruption onto Xayah, so she takes up so much damage, and she even uses her Gale Force forward to clean up a kill on Sylas, but she ended up walking in to the Kingslayer range and became a potion for him. But still, the rest of the DRX players were winning the fight really well, so they were able to clean up those kills. So both teams were looking for some setup play over there, so it was a very close fight. But still, at the end of the fight, we could tell that DRX was always winning this trade because they had the better comp. They drafted better. the beginning of the team fight was not the best one for DRX, but still, they were able to win because they had a really nice comp in order to take fights. Now let's take a look at the second highlight where Lilia was going a full strike mode with her bowling skills. Let's take a look. T1 started a very sneaky Baron, so DRX was super late to recognize it, and then Sewer Seed actually hits the wall, and the procs is also on Faker. So Sion and Silas falls asleep, and then because of the CC chain, Silas was not able to do anything but get 100 to 0. So because of their mid laner was like getting popped immediately as the fight got started, there was no way for T1 to win that fight. But still, at the same time, that was not the best position for T1 with their poke Varus to take. If Varus had the attack speed instead, maybe they would have been a lot more faster finishing that Baron as well. So I think T1 definitely showed their edge over DRX in terms of the macro decisions, but DRX always had this confidence to pull off team fight better than the opponents, and they always had better comp compared to T1. Now let's check out the player of the game on the side of DRX. Kingen will win the POG with that Gnar performance. I think Gnar has been having a really great day overall today. You know, there are some best of fives where one specific champion stands out. I think today maybe it's gonna be day of Gnar. Regardless of the champion matchup, Gnar has been having a fantastic time in today's series. You know, in game number 1, Gnar got counterpicked by Jace, but still, Gnar was actually ending the game victoriously. And a fantastic sidestep away from the quickness that was stolen by Faker. And Gnar can just dominate the team fight every time. And looking at the opponent's comp, Gnar didn't have any kind of threats to die here. So he was able to just go in whenever he wanted to and then cleaned up the kills. And then we have sustainability coming out for DRX in order to always win the team fight, especially in the later phase. And Kingen picked up 8 votes out of 9 in order to win that POG. And we are heading into game number 3 with a very even score between T1 and DRX, and the winner for game 3 will be having the match points. So let's check out who is gonna come out on top and get the lead of the series.